Hey guys, it's Eddie back again with another video. Are we on episode number 63? Something like that. But yeah, we're playing our 10-minute game, and then we're going to be analyzing it right after. And it's going to be a fun time. But we're going in the Nimzo-Indian today as black against Mr. Ace Fox. Pretty cool. And yeah, he's from, Ace Fox 17 is from the United States. I know that flag very well. I'm from there myself. We could play this move. We could also just play c5. c5 is an idea. A6, h6. Or you could just play h6. Let's see. Usually the ideas are about these squares, so maybe also just getting a bishop to play for these light squares. That's why we pinned this knight, because he's controlling these light squares. Our knight is also controlling these light squares, but we would love to put a knight over here. So I think maybe going through here would be a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. If he does pin, which he doesn't. Okay, this is, yeah, so he got his e4 in, which is very nice for him. If we take here, and if he takes with the queen, we get a free pawn. He probably won't take with the queen, though. He'll double his pawns. But I don't think that's exactly what we're looking for just yet. Because these double pawns are pretty strong as well. I mean, this pawn is supporting d5, the d4 square, so it's very sturdy. He gets a really strong center. So we could play d6 to stop him from playing e5 and coming into our work area, I guess. Let's see. It can be a bit messy. But then at this point, let's say if we play d6 and he pushes, we take, he takes. And then if we take this bishop and he decides to double his pawn, these are double isolated pawns, so they're pretty weak. If he takes the queen, I guess we could put a knight over here, and then maybe work it back into c5. But I think d6 should be fine over here, and I'm going to start with d6. So yeah. Okay, he goes ahead and protects this pawn. Very cool for him. We could put our own knight over here, attacking this pawn. Of course, if he pushes, I'll just take over here. Or not take, but move into the square. And we could also cement it in with e5. It would be nice, but it's not forced, I guess. Well, let's see. If I go like knight here, he doesn't want to push and give me a free piece. Makes sense. I guess he can still do this, but I'll kick him away. We could kick him this way. But if we go here and he just develops his knight, that's probably the most expected thing to do. And then if we go play bishop b7, is he trying to play something like this, I guess, with our knight slightly lost? Let's go ahead with it, though. And I guess if he plays knight here, we could play just this move. Okay, he goes ahead and attacks this pawn, this bishop, but he is forgetting that we're attacking his pawn. So I'm going to go ahead and take a pawn. We're attacking his queen, so he can't take this bishop just yet. Oops. That's a fork. That's a nasty fork. My opponent's got there. I'm going to defend with this bishop. And I'm going to welcome to take this bishop, because we have c5. Uh-oh. Where does the queen go now? Where does the queen go now? It's tough. This is covered by the knight. This is covered by the bishop. This is covered. This is covered. This is covered. This is, of course, covered. He doesn't really have anywhere. Okay, so he's going to give us a funny little knight. Let's go ahead and take it. No, that would be horrible. We just let his queen run away. No, let's not do that. We should take over here. I guess he'll take back. I don't think that's too much of a problem, though. We could just play something like e5. But that would make these pawns kind of weak, I guess. Well, let's go ahead and take his queen first, because that's for sure the best move. He goes ahead and takes this pawn, which I don't think I particularly care for. We could go ahead and attack him. He does have e5 to, I guess, protect everything. But let's see. If I play here, just play this. Or you could also try to come in with this pin. Like if we play e5, he pushes this out. Where does this knight go? It's a bit complicated. I guess we could put our knight over here for now. But then he has this move, and then our knight is locked up. So we go here, he pushes this, and then we go here. We're attacking this pawn, so you can't just go simply f3. And then I guess we could always go to a6. It's a bit annoying, but I guess it's what must be done. So let's try it out. It can't be the worst thing. If he goes here, I guess we have to block with this move. He takes, I take. It's fine. We're attacking his bishop. It's cool. We also get rid of his protection on this pawn. Okay, he goes ahead and brings this knight to defend. I'm just going to go ahead and take his knight with check, though, and then take this pawn. Now we're attacking this bishop and this knight. A double attack. Okay, he goes ahead and saves his knight by attacking my queen. And if he's attacking a queen, let's attack something even more important than the queen, which is the king. If we take this bishop, it's check, and he can't just take our queen just yet. He's going to have to address this check first. So let's go ahead and do that first. Give him that check. He moves his king over here. I'm going to go and take another piece with check. And if he takes back, because he can't take my queen just yet, now I can move my queen out of the way, out of danger's way. Over here. And where does he put his knight? Right now we're already 10 points above, and we're about to win another knight, so I guess a resignation is expected, is fair. That was a really short game, but let's go ahead, head into the game review, because the engine does say we had a mistake. Let's go ahead and check out that mistake over here. Perfect. Yep, 90.3 accuracy, which isn't too great for such a short game like this. We did have a mistake, so let's go ahead and check this out. The Nimzo-Indian is book enough. I played b6 here, which is fine. He played e4, and I played d6, which is a bit of a blunder. I was scared of him, I guess, walking in. Master Games Bishop b7 is more played, more sought after. I'm going to go ahead and click this Explore button. Let's see where this brings us. Okay, we're in an exploring thing. And this is the first time I've actually ever really clicked this, so I don't really have the OBS set up for this perfectly, but you guys see the entire board and I guess everything that should be okay. If we open, what is this other players? No, let's just go ahead into the master game database, because I want to see how do you play this opening, because this is something that's very common. Apparently bishop b7 is the best move, and I was expecting moves like e5, but I guess you just jump into e4 anyways now, because now the bishop is protecting this knight, so it's not just lost. This knight is pinned. So I guess this is a really easy way to play for the light squares. We could play something like d5 in the future as well to solidify this knight, but I guess it's blocking our bishop in, so maybe not just yet. So e4, best move. I don't think I want to. Well, knight f3 is okay. a3 is also fine. Let's see. Right now, if he just plays a random move, I guess like a3, we could just take here, check. He won't take with the queen, he'll take with the pawn. And then I guess my knight's not really doing too much, so. Not the greatest, right? If he plays knight f3, and then I take with the knight, he's going to take with this pawn, and I guess I just come back. But he has a really nice center. So I don't know how much I like this for myself. Going back to this game review thing, though, because maybe we can look at some more engine moves. Going into the analysis, we could play c5 here, which is really interesting. If he does play e5, we take over here. And if he takes over here, we took over here. So we both down knight. If he ever takes back, we have queen takes here. And he can't take our bishop because of this pin. Very interesting. So that saves us, actually. If he continues to take... Oh, we take here with check. This is check. So he can't take a rook just yet. But he's got to move over just a little bit. I guess let's say he goes to e2. We got a queen. And he can't take our rook and get a queen because we've got our own queen covering the square. So even after something like this, we have two queens. He has one. We're just completely winning. That's interesting. C5 is something interesting. The best move here for the Indian is not to take the knight, though. Is to play something like this. But this kind of forces me to take here. And of course he's going to take both with the pawn, not with the queen. And after this, I guess we have to protect our knight by going back to g8, which is really sad, but it's supposed to be playable. He has a really nice center, though, and he's got the bishop here. So I'm not really like in love with this position, but I guess it's okay. So I'm not sure what the best move is for black then, because even after something like this, and then he takes off the pawn, he's got a really nice center. He's just gonna develop like this, like very normal development. He has like some sort of semi-open file to work with like a4 and pushing it down. You can also play bishop a3 to stop us from castling like this, especially if we come at d5. But yeah, it's not the best. But I guess that just means that I need more practice in these kind of positions. But we play d6 over here. He plays this move. Oh, d6 is a mistake because of queen a4 check. And this is the fork. Right now, we can't trap this piece because there just isn't anything to trap this piece with. So after something like knight c6, which is the best move, I don't like c6, but let's play like bishop here. He's going to take this bishop, and he's up. He's just going to retreat. We have nothing stopping him from going back. Apparently, the best move for the Indian, according to the Indian, is knight c6. It's a free knight, though. But if he takes, we play bishop d7. Queen is almost trapped. It has to go to this square. Has to go to this square. If he goes here, the piece is in like a almost trapped position, but it isn't trapped. You know what I mean? It's not trapped just yet. I really want to find a way that would make it trapped, but can't really find it. But apparently it's still equalish, and I wonder why, because apparently rook beats the best move. Now he has to go to a6 to save this piece. And then what? Now apparently play e5. I don't know why you would play e5 here. I guess we could take this pawn. I don't know. I want to like find a way to make this work. So like if we go here. Oh, he has e5 and then he gets away. That doesn't work. We can't let him play e5 just yet. I guess what if this happens? We play here. He takes. I played this move. Queen ace. Oh, but he's gonna get away through this thing. So it doesn't really work. Apparently, it's still playable, but I'll be very sad if I lost my bishop that early. So I guess c5 was a better move. Bishop b7 is also fine. Don't want to open up. I didn't realize that this was opening up my king just yet, and I actually never did until he played queen e4 himself. But he plays bishop d3. I do this. He goes ahead and takes this pawn. Free pawn. He gives me this check, which doesn't work because after he takes, a5 is one way to trap it. c5 is also another way to trap it. Both ways work. Plays c5, which is apparently a great move. Not sure why, because I thought great move means like there's only really one move in the position. But there was a5. He plays this move, and this is why actually a5 was better. a5, and then if he goes here, and we take, this is still protected. He can't take this pawn back because of this pin, so it is just better. We play c5, which is fine. We still win the queen back. He does this, we take. He should have just taken this knight, though. But this is all fine, and he's just down like a lot of pieces, so of course we're just winning. So that's a very interesting game. It was a shorter game, but yeah. So usually in the Nimzo-Indian, I learned this from a coach. You're playing for these light squares. So like this knight is over here controlling these light squares. e6 is controlling this light square, and it could like prepare for a d5 push, which would also control this e4 light square. This bishop is pinning this knight, right? Which is controlling light squares. So we are removing, I guess, a defender of this like square. And bishop b7 is like a very, very, I guess, logical move considering the ideas of the position. I was scared about e5, but I guess now you just jump in. It's still very awkward, but I guess it's okay. You play d6 now and try to like break down the center. So something like d6. What if you play something like f3? That's scary. Oh, we have queen h4 check, which is really interesting, because now if he tries to block with g3, we go ahead and take this knight pawn. If he takes back, we take his queen. If he doesn't take back and play something dumb like bishop g5, bishop g5 just drops a piece. I'm not sure what exactly this is about. But if we play something like this, we have a free rook with check. It's nice for us. So that's interesting. Getting that knight in the center of the board, it's hard. It's a bit hard for our opponent to remove it. If we play d6, then I guess he could maybe play bishop d3, which is a better way to do that. Apparently we have f5, which I like a lot. It's not always that you can move this f5 pawn or f7 pawn away from f7, open up the king, and still be safe. But queen's not on its home square ready to attack. This bishop's not on like this square ready to attack, so it's fine. If they do en passant, which is the best move, you just take back with the knight. You're doing a little bit of an attack. If you play something like knight f3, maybe the best move even is to just take. Isolate double pawns. It's still equal because of these semi-open files. Semi-open files. So it's still interesting, and you probably don't want to castle kingside, or else you're gonna be losing really quick with all these pieces coming in, and this king could just come over here, and it's really easy for white to make an attack. Let's say if we just castle, how bad is this? Yeah, rook g1 is played. Apparently d5 is the best move. It's very hard to play. And Injun can find the best moves, but it's gonna be really hard to play. So yeah, that would be the logical, I guess, moves for this opening. This game was a shorter game, so the analysis was also shorter, and therefore the video was also shorter. We're only at 16 minutes right now, but it feels like there isn't too much else to talk about in this video because we've already talked about like the opening itself as well. But I think there was still a really important thing to learn about, which is this d6 move. I always forget that moving this d pawn also weakens the king a lot. They always teach us about f6 not being played, but d6 is almost always has to be played because you want to develop this bishop, but it also has its negatives. But yeah, I think that should be it for this video, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.